CW recently announced the cancellations of 3 different DC shows, those being Batwoman, which ended after just 3 seasons, Legend of Tomorrow, which ended after a respectable 7, and Naomi, which ended after just 1 season. And this is following like 2 years of other Arrowverse shows ending: Arrow after 8, Black Lightning after 4, and Supergirl after 6. Leaving just 3 Arrowverse shows: The Flash, which is going into its 9th season, or it has a confirmed 9th season, which in my opinion is most likely going to be its last, Stargirl going into its 3rd season, and Superman and Lois also with a 3rd season confirmed and on the way. Now I gotta be honest, I'm not exactly disappointed by these shows ending. I watched like 1 episode of Naomi, I never got into Batwoman, and in my opinion Legend of Tomorrow hasn't been good since season 3. I know those shows, especially the latter one, Legend of Tomorrow, has its fans, but I'm not one of them. With all of these cancellations and the fact that The Flash is most likely only going to be getting 1 more season, it does bring up the question of, well, is the Arrowverse dead? They canceled basically all of their shows, leaving only 3. One of those shows is only going to be getting 1 more season, most likely, leaving just Stargirl and Superman and Lois, the 2 most self-contained shows in the Arrowverse. Superman and Lois barely references anything in the Arrowverse, just like 1 episode. Same thing for Stargirl, but that's also in a completely different universe. So, to answer that question, I think, yeah, the Arrowverse is basically on its last leg, and anything that's remaining is completely self-contained anyway. So, the Arrowverse is, yeah, it's dead, and I think it's been dying basically since Crisis on Infinite Earths, so it's not really that tragic anymore. But it does bring up the question of the future of DC television. The Arrowverse was like the main defining thing that was DC television for the last, what, like decade. So going forward, is it going to be something else? Well, there are a lot of TV shows in development, including 2 of them on the CW, but so many more on HBO Max. Like 10 plus TV shows are in development, coming out probably in the next year or 2. So in this video, I wanted to talk about all of those shows, talk about how likely I think they are to actually come out, and basically how excited I am for them, how pumped I am for them, what I think about them, all those things. And that goes also for the 2 shows that are in development for the CW, one of which that is 100% coming out, but I don't think is going to be a part of the Arrowverse. The first TV show that I'm going to talk about is Gotham Knights, which is a CW show that is 100% coming out, the development of which has been incredibly smooth. It was announced, I'm fairly certain, this year, and then got so quick into the casting, and then the shooting of the pilot, and then the announcing of the fact that it's picked up for a season. It was so smooth. There are shows on this list that haven't been in development for years, announced years ago. Gotham Knights, it hasn't even been a full year since it's been announced. Plus, it's a really weird situation here. It's coming out next year in 2023, the same year that Gotham Knights is coming out. Gotham Knights and Gotham Knights are coming out in the same year. The video game called Gotham Knights, which was announced a lot before the TV show, is coming out, and it's like the exact same premise, but the video game is just using more popular characters. The premise is Batman dies, leaving Gotham defenseless, and a younger group of heroes takes over as, well, the Gotham Knights. The only difference is that the video game is using the A-listers of Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl. Meanwhile, the TV show is using also Robin and Batgirl, but like Carrie Kelly Robin, Stephanie Brown Batgirl, which is easily the most popular character in this TV show, Stephanie Brown, and Duela Dent, which is Joker's daughter, Harper Row, which is Bluebird, and a completely original character who seems to be the main character, Turner Hayes, the adopted son of Bruce Wayne. There are so many adopted children you could choose from in the comics. I mean, there's Dick Grayson, obviously, but there's also Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and I think that would have worked the best since Stephanie Brown is in this. But also, there's Cassandra Cain, who would have been better, she's also an adopted child of Bruce Wayne. He even has a actual biological child, which is Damian Wayne, and they just went with an original character named Turner Hayes. Now, I am still cautiously optimistic that this is tricking us, and this is actually not Turner Hayes. It's going to be revealed that it's Dick Grayson, or Tim Drake, or Jason Todd, or something, but it's also a lot more likely that they're just going for an original character because they feel like it, or they weren't given permission for anything else. Regardless, though, they've already released a poster which has gotten mostly negative reactions, and yeah, it does look like a pretty bad CW show. They're not even wearing costumes. It doesn't really look like a superhero show, based off the poster at least. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm not exactly excited for this show. I mean, it's written by the same people who wrote Batwoman. It's probably in its own self-contained universe, just the continuity of the premise of the show. of Bruce Wayne dying and then like he leaves behind this adopted son. It doesn't really fit the continuity of Gotham in the Arrowverse, so it's most likely its own self-contained universe, which is fine and all, but there's not a lot of things that are enticing me to this show. The second CW show in development is a show called Justice U, which stars David Ramsey as John Diggle, the same character from Arrow, and this is obviously 100% set in the Arrowverse, and follows him training 5 new metas as they go to college, training the next generation of superheroes. This is a show that, in my opinion, is never going to be coming out. It's been in development for a lot longer than Gotham Knights, but has not had the same smooth development as Gotham Knights. Also, I just think that it doesn't have the brand recognizability that just the name Gotham does, and some characters there as well. I mean, John Diggle, this would be a spin-off show from Arrow, which has already had a spin-off show that was canceled, that never made it to even a pilot, just had a backdoor pilot, being Green Arrow and the Canaries. And while it did have a very successful spin-off show back in 2014, that was for a even more recognizable character than Green Arrow himself, which is The Flash, and I just don't think Justice U is likely, especially since the CW and DC in general seem to be moving away from the Arrowverse as a whole. If it were to come out, I would certainly watch it, but I also wouldn't be all too disappointed if it doesn't, because, I mean, it doesn't really have the best premise ever. So the first HBO Max show to go over is Green Lantern, which has been in development for, it feels like, ever since HBO Max has been announced. So for years now. I thought it was going to be like the first big DC show on HBO Max, but there's already been like Doom Patrol and Titans and Young Justice. There's been a lot of shows on that platform. Meanwhile, Green Lantern has still had no news about it other than 2 actors being confirmed. Guy Gardner is going to be played by Finn Wittrock, and Alan Scott is going to be played by Jeremy Irvine. And it seems it's going to be like a bit of a anthology series, or maybe a series that like cuts back and forth between time periods, as Alan Scott's played by Jeremy Irvine, who is a lot younger than you would think Alan Scott would be. But it's probably because, I mean, I think this is actually confirmed already, but those scenes, like his storyline will take place in the 40s, Guy Gardner's in the 80s, and maybe we'll see the present day with Jessica Cruz or Simon Baz. But I don't think we'll be getting any of the A-listers like Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan. Maybe we will get Kyle Rayner, I wouldn't put it past them, but I think the main 2, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, won't be involved. Regardless, though, I think the show needs to be made. Green Lantern is like the main Justice League member that has been completely benched and sidelined. They made one movie that bombed and they completely forgot about the character in live action. And I think he needs his time in the limelight. He wasn't in the Justice League movie, nor was he even in like the updated Zack Snyder Justice League movie, despite the fact that Zack Snyder really wanted him to be. So Green Lantern, a character that needs his time to shine in live action. So I'm hoping this show, because they're taking as much time as they need, will be fantastic. It seems like they're going to be spending a lot of money on it, and they definitely should. Green Lantern, he needs that bit of live action goodness, because none of them have had any. Hal Jordan appeared once in the movie that bombed, and the rest just haven't. I mean, Guy Gardner was in a JLA pilot. Jon Stewart, the closest thing is John Diggle. They need more. I'm hoping the show will be fantastic, and I'm just hoping it comes out at the very least. HBO Max has 2 different shows in development that are going to be set in the Batman's universe, the Batman being the Robert Pattinson Batman from this year. There's a Penguin show following Colin Farrell's Penguin, that's really all the details we have about the show, and also an Arkham show, which was initially announced as a GCPD show, maybe something similar to Gotham, which follows the GCPD, but instead of like before Batman, it's during Batman's time. But it was later confirmed that that's a lie, and this is actually something that's going to be based off or inside Arkham Asylum. Both of these shows seem a bit weird to me. Like, why would we get like a Batman universe show without Batman or at least one of the Bat family members, which at this point in the timeline don't exist, but like maybe down the road? Like, how interesting could a Penguin show be without Batman? Especially since, like, Penguin's not exactly one of my favorite Batman villains, and an Arkham show could be interesting, but again, all those villains, like, without Batman, like, why would we be interested in any conflict that's going on there? So I'm definitely a bit, like, it's a bit weird to me that these shows are being made, but it seems like they do have a vision there, and it does seem like there is a reason these shows are being made. So if they end up being good, then that's awesome. I'm definitely going to watch them. At this point, though, I don't see the point in making them. HBO Max has a TV show in development called The Dead Boy Detectives, which is a group of characters that, honestly, I never heard of before they initially appeared in Doom Patrol, but they did appear in Doom Patrol, and I liked them there. I thought that they were a fun group of characters that I would like to see more of, which is why it's weird to me that they're bringing in the Dead Boy Detectives. They're giving them their own show, but they're recasting every single one of them. It's weird because all three of those actors did a pretty good job in that one episode or two that they appeared in Doom Patrol Season 3, so I don't know why they're replacing them. The only thing I can think of is that they only appeared on Doom Patrol as a test to see if people would like them, like the idea of them, and then they'd be giving them their own TV show, but like giving the writers and the people behind the show complete creative control of like who they want to cast in the role. But it's weird that HBO Max keeps on doing this. They did it with Doom Patrol themselves, who appeared on Titans, and you would think the spin-off show would be in the same universe with the exact same actors, and while most of the actors are the same, it's not in the same universe, and they did recast one of them. It's weird to me that all these shows, Titans, Doom Patrol, and Dead Boy Detectives, are not in the same universe, because they could easily be. But yeah, I'll probably watch the show. I mean, like I said, I liked them on Doom Patrol. I thought they were interesting. I thought they were a fun group of characters. So if the new actors that they have playing them in this show are as good, then yeah, I'll watch it, despite the fact that honestly, I never heard of them before they appeared on Doom Patrol. HBO Max is also developing a show called DC Superhero High, which is supposed to be a half-an-hour comedy, which follows a group of teenagers in high school, but like a high school for superheroes, basically like the X-Men and their school, but for DC. I don't know if like it would have like actual significant characters from the comics. We don't really have any information about the show other than what I already told you. But also, it's been in development for years now, and it's not like a big IP or something, so I feel like it's one of those shows it's just been in development for so long that either they forgot about it completely, or it will never be made, even if there is someone who is trying to get it made. HBO Max is planning a Justice League Dark universe. They actually already did this. Initially, they planned to do it starting with Swamp Thing, which was unfortunately canceled due to some legal reason that I will not go into here. Very unfortunate. I really like that show. I like Swamp Thing's design. They introduced also Blue Devil and Madam X, and it was leading to something really cool. So it's a huge shame that they canceled it, but it seems like they're trying it again, this time starting with Constantine, who is supposed to be played by a black actor this time, not by Matt Ryan, who, in my opinion, completely nailed the role. There's also a Madam X TV show coming out, which is Madam Xanadu, a third untitled Justice League Dark show, which might be Zatanna, although I think there's a Zatanna movie that's in development, which this is a show about TV shows, so I will not be talking about that. It might be a new Swamp Thing thing, maybe Deadman. That's completely untitled, so we don't know what, but it will be in the Justice League Dark universe, and it will be a character who is a member of Justice League Dark. I am interested. I'm very interested in this new universe they're making, focusing on the magical side of the DC universe. Not my favorite side of the DC universe, but it's something that I'm glad that they are exploring. And I love the ideas of interconnected universes, so if they're making one that is solely focused on Justice League Dark, then yeah, I'm interested. I was definitely excited to see what Swamp Thing would get to. HBO Max is also developing a Valzod TV show. If you don't know who Valzod is, he's basically the second Superman from the New 52 version of Earth 2, a universe where Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman were all killed fighting Darkseid, and a new group of those heroes took over as the Justice League, or rather the Wonders of the World as they were called in that universe. Valzod was the second Superman. He's a black guy. He wears this light blue costume, also very similar to I think it's Earth 23 Superman, which is President Superman, who is modeled after Barack Obama. Valzod isn't modeled after Barack Obama, and a lot of people wanted Michael B. Jordan to play him, and this show is actually being produced by Michael B. Jordan. Maybe he'll step in as the main actor as well, but for now, he's only a producer. And this is really interesting because Valzod, like I said, is a character from an alternate universe, so this is the first show in what could potentially be a series of shows set on Earth 2, which is really exciting to me because I love Earth 2. I really like the pre-New 52 version of Earth 2 because I like the JSA, but I think the JSA could work just as well as being in the past of the main universe, not in an alternate universe. Meanwhile, the New 52 version of Earth 2 only works as a separate universe, and I found it so interesting. I really, really like that world, and even if this is a self-contained TV show and it doesn't start a whole big universe, and it's just a TV show about Earth 2 focusing on Valzod, I am very excited for this show regardless. I think it might be the show that is coming out in the near future, other than Green Lantern, that I am the most excited for. An Aquaman TV show adapting a graphic novel called You Brought Me the Ocean, which focuses on Jackson Hyde as he grapples with his sexuality and grows up in New Mexico, is in development at HBO Max. It is going to be maybe not connected to the DCEU and the Aquaman movies, which it might be because, I mean, that's the main thing that Aquaman is currently doing in live action, and really the only thing. So for there to be an Aqualad TV show, it will be a missed opportunity for them to not connect. And who knows, maybe Black Manta from those movies could appear on this show. Because for anybody who doesn't know, Aqualad's dad in the comics and on Young Justice is Black Manta. There is one other show that is in development, but I don't really think it's even necessary to talk about because it's been in development for such a long time. With zero news about it coming out, it just seems like it's completely dead in the water. And maybe Warner Brothers completely forgot about it. It's a show called DC's Strange Adventures. It was going to be an anthology series, each episode focusing on a different side, more obscure side of the DC universe. Maybe starting with Adam Strange because it is called DC's Strange Adventures. But I've made like an updated version of this video. I think this is like the third or fourth time I've done this video because it does keep on changing. But one thing keeps on staying the same, which is DC's Strange Adventures being in development and having no details about it known. So in my opinion, this is a show that's never going to be made, and that's fine because it was just it could have been interesting, but it isn't really focusing on anything specific that I was excited for. So those are all the live action shows that are currently in development, but there are also a couple animated shows that I won't really delve into too deeply, but I'll go over them really quickly. There is a Batwheels TV show, which is sentient versions of the Batmobile and all of its friends coming to life, which is a show that is being made for like toddlers, like 3 and 4-year-olds, which I'm not mad about at all. I think that's really cool. I'm not going to watch it, obviously, but I'm not sad. I'm not angry that it's being made. I am excited, however, for the other Batman TV show that is being made that's coming out next year called Batman Caped Crusader, which seems to be maybe the same exact art style as the Batman the Animated Series or Justice League / Justice League Unlimited, as it is being made by the same people, although it seems to be focusing on Batman earlier on into his career, similar to the Batman movie that came out this year. There is also an animated show about Superman coming out, which is My Adventures with Superman, which looks to be a little bit goofier, but I am excited for it regardless because it's been way too long since Superman and also Batman have had their own animated TV shows. Also at HBO Max is a Harley Quinn spin-off show called Noonans, which is a bar for villains run by Kite Man, who is probably the character most deserving from that show to get a spin-off, but also very similar to Hishi's Villain Pub. Hishi does borrow a lot from DC, so you can't really say that DC is ripping them off or anything. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I like that version of Kite Man. I think he's really funny. Harley Quinn in general is also a very funny show. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this show. If anything, it will be good fun. There's also a Legion of Superheroes TV show in development, which is an adult animated TV show on HBO Max, which I am definitely excited for. I think they're a really interesting group of characters, and there's a lot you could do with them that maybe hasn't really been done. There was a Legion of Superheroes TV show in the past, but that was for kids, and it's been a good 15 years since that show came out, so I'm definitely excited for this new and updated take on the Legion of Superheroes. I'm also excited for Batman Caped Crusader and My Adventures with Superman. Like, those are the animated shows that are going to come out in the coming years that I am actually excited for being made by DC Comics. But that is it for this video. That's every single live action and animated DC TV show that is going to come out in the coming years. and most of them are on HBO Max. It seems like DC is moving most of their things there. Like that is now the main DC television home, which is fine. I have no problem with that. And let me know in the comments below which one of these you're the most excited for. Me personally, it's got to be Green Lantern, followed by Valzod and Batman, the new animated series, and the Superman series, and Legion of Superheroes. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and support me on Patreon. Bye.